which takes a pot with pocket jacks from the button.
So we see hand number 55 being dealt. The blind still 20,000 and 40,000. We see some folds. And even our most aggressive player on the table lets it go. Up to the button with 8-6 suited. He lets it go as well. Maybe the reason is that he has two very good and aggressive players to his left in the blinds, and expects to get 3-bet quite a bit. You see Middleton calling from the small blind and Kramer checking. Flop giving them both something.
Would have been a nice flop for the button as well. 8-6 suited and hearts.
So after the check from the small blind, Kramer just goes ahead and bets for value, thinking that he can definitely get called by worse, like an ace high or a flush draw that decided to check. Not too bad. And the 10 of clubs, I'd assume that when Middleton checks, Kramer will check back often to show down his bottom pair. I'm not sure if he bets again. I think that he would check back. That's what he does. And now on the 6, I can see a check. Middleton probably not being confident with betting for value here with the 7.
Do you think that there is a chance that Kramer is
Bluffing
because there is a 1-cut straight? Obviously he does not, but he could have some.
I think in a blind battle situation, he knows that when Middleton checks, he has either an ace high kind of hand, a check calls flop, that he wins against most probably anyway, so he doesn't have to bluff. And he also knows that if Middleton has a really good hand, like a 2-pair or a straight even, he will most probably check to induce a bluff, and that makes it more unlikely for Kramer to bet, especially with a pair.
So for those of you who are wondering why the stream is in English only, there has been a discussion if it should be a stream in German and English, but finally it was decided to just have the stream in English. I hope you're fine with that. Maybe we can mix in like one hand in German for all our German speaking followers, but it has to be an interesting one.
We'll do that. For Now
We can also do actually Austrian, not German.
we see an interesting call in the big blind. I thought that Hubelek would be more on the tighter side, at least pre-flop, but he decides to call a raise. But he's in the big blind in maybe thinking in position. He should play more hands, which is definitely true. So Kramer with a check, he hit an 8. He knows that he will not fold out better probably. So for him, he has to decide if he wants to bet multiple streets to fold out better, or if he wants to take it to showdown. As it is the big blind battle, you could assume that the 8 is probably makes the best hand a lot of times, so he will be happy to take it to showdown.
Right, so you want to do one hand in German?
Let's go. So for our English viewers, we're sorry, but, but we'll do one hand in German for our German-speaking guys over here.
Would be funny if it's the hand of the day. Also,
Wäre lustig, wenn alle folgen.
ja, bis jetzt alle weg. Kramer 5-3, auf den ist sicher Verlass.
Der wird den Button nicht gehen lassen.
Ja, auch hier so, dass die zwei nicht so viel Gegenwehr geleistet haben, insbesondere Hubelek. Er teilt 10-6 sowieso weg und
also ich gehe mal stark davon aus, dass Kramer hier quasi 100% Open Raisen wird am Button, bevor er mit dem Stack drin hat. And that was it for the German hand.
What a highlight hand.
Maybe we'll find one more later.
Yeah.
For you guys out there who like playing live, and especially over here in Vienna, we have a lottery coming up soon. We will be giving out tickets to the 88.6 poker event, to the main event that has a guaranteed prize pool of 50,000 euros. That starts on the 3rd of February, so in a few days actually. Stay tuned and find out more about the lottery and how you can win a ticket and a seat to that tournament.
Just to give you some information, we will provide you with some letters, and starting around 8 p.m. and if you combine those letters, form a word and send it to us, you're participating in the lottery. So with a prize pool of 50,000, the winner probably gets like maybe like 10k.
Maybe 15.
I think it's because of so many entries this tournament will have, probably go for a flatter payout structure. Alright, so Middleton open raised with ace deuce on the hijack, and Maher defends his big blind with 7-6 suited and flops middle pair. checks back with his ace high.
So that's an interesting card, giving Middleton a straight draw and a flush draw. Mayher probably wanting to bet for value and protect against these kind of draws. Like it looks like Middleton is holding two overcards a lot of the times, so Mayher wants to bet for value, especially if Middleton has a heart with his overcards. He would probably call often. We could see a hand like ace jack with a jack of hearts just calling the turn, or really any high hearts. So that's a good bet by Mayher, I think. And depending on the river, you could go ahead and value bet again, because if you think from the perspective of Mayher, what does Middleton have? He will often have an ace high, just checking the flop and taking from the turn, and on the turn, if he picked up a flush draw, he would call, and on the river everything breaks, like all the draws break. So if you had the best hand with ace high, you still do, which might lead you to a hero call.
What do you think about like making it bigger in order to polarize and kind of merge your range, not doing it with the nuts, but
Yeah,
with a hand that could
I think
bring your opponent to just call with some ace high sort of hand.
I mean, you don't have to really polarize, I think, but in general, I would probably like to see a bigger bet on the river. I think a bigger bet might lead to a hero call more often.
Yeah.
You already said that. I mean, a small bet looks like the hand that you have, but maybe Mayher wasn't sure if he would get called when he bet bigger. Maybe he wasn't sure of his hand and in general of his value bet. I don't know, but I think I'd go a little bit bigger.
So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them.
But to the last hand, one more thing. If you want to bet smallish on this river, it can be your general strategy, but then you have to bet like with most of your hands. Bet that like with your busted draws, with your nutted hands, like even if you have a full house or whatever, quads or whatnot. I think you should be betting about the same amount that you bet now, because you cannot bet with your strong hands, bet huge, bet small with your middleish hands, and do something else with your bust. Then you'll be pretty easy to play. And we see Kramer coming in for a raise with the ace-6 offsuit, and Yarovoy, who hasn't played the last few hands, decides to call in the big blind, which is pretty fine. I think it's the first time that Yarovoy checked in the big blind.
I actually just wanted to say I can see you leading out with this hand.
Yeah, I think this is a better hand probably. If you want to have a leading strategy, I think it's a better hand than the hands he chose when he had bottom pairs. So he decides to float, he decides to call. And I could see Kramer barreling here multiple streets, thinking that Yarovoy will have to fold an 8, and Yarovoy may call with a Jack 10 kind of hand, Jack 9. Or maybe just even fold a queen if he barrels through, like barrels off on the river. So goes ahead and bets. I think it's good against against players who are willing to call a lot of the flops. You want to put pressure on them, but the reasons are pretty obvious, I think.
We had a question in the chat about the result of the high roll event, which took place here at Montesino with a buy-in of 1,100. There have been 20 players and 4 of them got in the money. The last 3 men standing made a deal. Dennis Wilke from Germany took home 7,170. Dara O'Kearney from the Islands got 6,900, and Jamila van Perga, who is actually the girlfriend from the winner, Dennis Wilke, got 6,180, which is way more than the third place taker would have normally gotten.
So congratulations to them.
Fourth place finisher is Espen Jorstad from Norway, taking home 3k. Back to the final table. Hubelek open raising from the hijack with ace-10 off.
And Yarboy with a real hand now. Three betting to 225,000.
We already saw Hubelek folding ace-queen versus a 3-bet, so I would not be surprised to see him folding here as well.
The interesting thing is if Hubelek 4-bets, I'm not sure what Yarboy's plan is. If you 3-bet ace-jack suited in this spot, you are probably doing that for value. But against a player Hubelek who you saw that he folded ace-queen, you could imagine him not coming over the top with a worse hand than ace-jack. So you will be in a pretty ugly spot if you get 4-bet, actually. Luckily for Yarboy, he doesn't make a move with the ace-10.
I think Hubelek is not that kind of guy who is like doing light 4-bets, at least not until now. Maybe when he realizes that the players on his left are like 3-betting him a lot.
This would have been a good spot for him to 4-bet. Go ahead and make it, I don't know, he made it, I think 225 or so. Just make it 450 or 500,000 and fold to a shove. You have to realize, and you have to think about your image at the table, and your image should be, being Hubelek, should be very tightish, and you showed that you can fold ace queen to just a normal regular 3-bet from the button. So you should get a lot of credit when you 4-bet in these spots. So I think you could expect hands like ace-jack and even ace-queen to fold to your 4-bet when you have been that tight. So he could have, now that would be would have been a great spot for him to use his image.
We just saw some advertising of the next or upcoming events at the Montesino and the Concord Card Casinos. There will be a 100,000 guaranteed tournament in May and in September this year. We also mentioned the 50,000 guaranteed tournament with a buy-in of 88 euros, where you can win a ticket. I'm gonna give you more information around 8 p.m. on how to participate. And if you wanna stay up to date, you can also check out the website montesino.at or ccc.co.at, and of course you can also check the Facebook fan page to find out more about upcoming events and promotions. Kramer
Just
finally.
taking the blinds with his jacks. Kramer, who we thought would be more active and aggressive on the final table, but maybe he's just sitting back, uh, letting a few players bust, build up a solid image, and then attack. We'll see. Middleton has been somewhat active, opening light and late positions, forwarding all in with ace jack when he got 3-bet by Jimmy Lauskaus, who is now in a spot where he has to do something very soon. He has about 11 blinds, so he